Let me. Yeah, should be fine. Yep.
If she needs to.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
I don't think she needs to. Got my costume on. Direct. Freezing. 40-some degrees, I think. Push it this way, huh?
We are dialed in, Sifu, and I'm about to start casting.
Man.
Day 2. Oh, right, I did it wrong. Dang. That's not good. Okay. Right. Right on time.
Good? All right. Anybody in the house?
One playback, which means there's one person here.
All right. Come on in, fam. Come on in. Welcome back. Who's here today? Who's here today? For our second day of our 100 days Inner Alchemy training. Couldn't think of a better place to be, no doubt. You good with this behind you, brother?
I should be. I should be.
Give me a moment.
Thank you.
Go straight out the window. Come on in, fam. We're just giving everybody a little time to come in. So come on in. This would be a good time, actually, to go and grab that notebook. Get that notebook. Who's in here? Let me see. I'll steal one playback.
Yep.
Let's say greetings.
As a matter of fact,
You got a notebook to get?
I do have a notebook to get.
Mm-hmm. All right. Obvious here. Hello. How are you and what part of the world are you located in? Well, Brother Peyton and I are certainly down here in the sunny South Florida. Not so warm today. Sunny, but not so warm. Come on in, fam. And currently we got about, about 13, 14 of us on
14.
this journey? 14 of us on this journey, family. 14. Wow, the family is growing. I'm so excited to see that we have so many people interested in actually developing their self, because that's what this is all about. This is all about developing ourself, our true potential, taking it to a higher level, raising our consciousness. And we talked about this. Let me pull this out. Let me pull this out. Have this handy. Remember? Talking about these Dantians. So our whole practice is really based around the same underlying philosophy as the yoga. What makes it seem so different is that Tai Chi is, rooted in a martial arts. But the Inner Alchemy training is something that the martial artists decided to add to their martial arts to give their martial arts more. So it's like adding, if you were a race car driver and you put some nitrous in your gas tank. That's a nice analogy.
I believe they took Qigong and they were like, we can hurt people with this.
Yeah.
We need to use this in our martial arts.
So this is the way the master explains it, actually. Master Liao says in Tai Chi Classics, he says that Tai Chi been around for thousands and thousands of years, and it was not used originally as a lot of people think it was for martial arts, because it was simply about raising our self-awareness, activating our true potential, and it had nothing to do with martial arts. It was about just being the best person that we can be, And how do we go about doing that? Well, these ancient monks went into the temples, went into the, actually out into the forests, away from society. They secluded themselves and they started studying nature. And they noticed that nature and society was basically going in two opposite directions. And they're like, hold on, wait a minute. I'd rather be over here tuned in with nature, because it seems to be a lot more efficient and it flows the way that life should flow. That's that Wu Wei. Wu Wei, that's a term you want to be familiar with. So Wu Wei means effortlessness. So basically doing the least and getting the most out of your effort. A lot of times we put too much effort into things and we don't really get out the true value, So they figured out a way that we can do that. And that's what we're sharing here, family. So who we got? We got 4 people so far. I want to make sure I reiterate to everyone that they want to start getting here like a little closer to the time that we start.
Yeah. We let everybody know yesterday on a Facebook post where we tagged them all. Hopefully they're not all waiting around for that. Would you like me to go run one?
Yeah, you could do that.
All right.
So we got 5 people here so far. So family, if you would, while we're waiting on the rest of our family to show up, I'd like to ask you a question, and you can just throw the answer inside of the chat. Remember this picture from yesterday, my wonderful artwork. I know it's wonderful. I know. No, this is not my head. But on yesterday, we talked about some key points that I want you to keep in mind. Remember that point at the top of the head, that bivalve point, and how to locate that point? Remember that point? And also on the very bottom of our body, the most yin aspect, because this is the most yang aspect. Yin and yang. So this yang has a reflection, which is the yin point down on the bottom. Now don't be confused about where I have this cauldron at, because this is the Dantian, right? The Hu Yin point is that point that's located down by the perineum, right? Behind our reproductive organs and in between the anus and the reproductive organs. That's the Hu Yin. So we want to also be able to contract and release that area as well. Some of the women, or even some of the men, may be familiar with the Kegel exercises. Yeah, so it's the same type of approach when you're able to contract that anal sphincter, that area. So we want to become familiar with that. I'm going to ask a question here and see who can answer this one. Where is the Ming Men located? The Ming Men. If you know the answer, shout it out. You know, you gotta type it. Type it in the chat there, family. Where is the Ming Men located on our body? It's a particular point. Where is it? I see somebody typing something in there.
I'll check it for you.
Yeah, see if somebody said something. So, we got how many people? 5 here so far? We're going to keep reviewing. Let's start off with a quick review, family. Let's start off with a quick review. I wanted to share the review with everyone, but they can catch the replay. You all are here, so the early bird gets the worm, I think they say. Something like that. I'm always an early bird. But in this process, this alchemical process, we talked about Jing, we talked about Qi, and we also talked about the Shin, right? We talked about the Jing being converted into the Qi, and the Qi being converted into Shin. So you have Jing, Qi, and Shin. And I also mentioned on yesterday that those 3 things, they work together in tandem. So although we're going to be isolating different parts of the practice, like focusing on one aspect at a time, we really can't separate these things because they are the essence of life themselves. It takes those three things together. Also known as the 3 treasures. That would be a good one to write down. There's no test at the end, but we may have some giveaways for those who recall the information. That'd be good. Send out a few giveaways every now and then.
There you go.
Chocolate. Yeah, Valentine's Day is coming up. Dark chocolate, 100%. What about that? So remember that, family. We have Jing, Qi, and Shin. And I made a very, very, very important point yesterday when I said don't rush to get the energy up to the top. So up here, that's more in regards to training the shin. No force, always being gentle with ourselves, right? So these are points that we want to always keep in mind when we're training, and also when we're not training. You know, if you find yourself getting temperamental or upset, getting ready to go into a rage, step back for a moment and ask yourself, is this really worth my energy right now? To put my energy into that, to let that deplete me of my energy source? You have to ask yourself that. And most of the time, you're going to realize that it's not worth it. You can just let it go. When you hold on to it and you condense that energy, it just starts vibrating more and more and more and more and more and more, causing more trouble inside of the body. We're going to talk about that today as well. I think we should go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started.
Oh, hey, see, throw out your cell phone information.
Yes. Should I type it on the chat for?
Yeah. You can actually no. You should make them write it down.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. So remember, I said that I want to be sure that you can reach me whenever you need to in regards to what we're doing here. Any questions that may come up, and there will be questions. Don't hesitate to reach out to me online, but if it's more important and you need to get in touch with me, send me a text message, family. Send me a text message saying, hey, it's me, so-and-so. And then follow with a call, with a phone call. All right? So text before call. That's the way I screen my calls. I always screen my calls, and if you don't text first, I don't check my messages. I don't check my messages, fam. So don't say I left you a message. A voice message, I never check them. Text messages, yeah, I'll check those. So get a pad and write down my number, family. Have it easily accessible. Lock it down. The area code is 954 740 3800. That's my cell. I'll repeat it. 954 740 3800. I like that number. So, like I said, lock it down. And remember, family, I'm on Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in the UK somewhere, do a little research and find out what time it is here before you call. If you call at 3 a.m. in the morning, in the a.m., I don't like saying that morning. If you call at 3 a.m., I'm probably training already and I'm not going to pick up. So keep that in mind. I'm not ignoring you, okay? I would like to actually begin today the way that I'm used to beginning every time I do any lesson. And first of all, it's by giving thanks before we begin. Just setting the space, you know. It's kind of like, for me, it's a way of just clearing the space. Because we're going to have a super fantastic training today, in case you didn't know that. Yeah, we're going to have a super fantastic training today. Let's go ahead and set the space just for that to happen. So let's clear our mind, forget about anything other than what we're doing here. Remember our purpose, remember your personal goal, and let's enjoy the training. So if you would, just close your eyes for a second and just release all excessive, non-related activity from your mind. And breathe in peace. Every breath is peace. Breathe out anything that does not serve you well. Anything. I don't care what it is. Any worries that you may have had during the week. Anything that's lingering, just see it as being gone already. Dismiss it. All right? Breathe into that space for a couple seconds. Okay, good. So let me ask you, family. On yesterday, I actually introduced the counting the breath method. Did anybody actually use that method on their own? Also, does anyone have any concerns or any confusion in regards to how to use the counting the breath method? Let me know right here. I do plan to do a review on that for sure. We'll go through it together. We'll do a short sitting, maybe 5 minutes or so. But today, my primary focus is, family, we're talking about the Qi, the Jing, and the Shin. And this is a progressive training. We're going to begin at the bottom, the very bottom. The most yin aspect of our body is, who knows where that location is? The K1 point. K1, fam. On the bottom of the foot, that kidney point. Yeah, we're going to start there. We're going to talk about that and how that influences our Qi, our Jing, and our Shin. Let's start out with identifying that point. Here's another one of my beautiful drawings. Not sure if you can see this very well, so I better stand and come a little closer.
You can erase that.
You done with that?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
So I'm going to come a little closer to the camera. What I want you to pay attention to, actually, 1 second, fam. What I want you to pay attention to at this moment on this little board here is this picture that I drew showing the foot. Yeah, this is a foot. Am I in the picture? It lags.
Should be.
Yeah, okay. Right here, family. So this picture here is a representation of our foot. Somebody's foot. I don't know who drew that, so I can't take credit for it. But they did pretty good. Whoever it was. You see this dot that somebody put here? This little dot right here? This is the K1 location. It's relatively a general location. I'm going to tell you how to find this point, also known as the Yang Quan. I wrote it right here. Y-O-N-G Q-U-A-N. It's similar to the palm point, the Lao Gong, but it's on the bottom of our foot. Now, if you look at your toes, we'll start counting with the big toe being number 1, the next toe being number 2, and then the next toe being number 3. In between number 2 and number 3, follow me on this, on the way that I'm trying to identify the location of this point. Okay, family? In between the second and third toe, bear with me. In between the second and third toe. Now, if this was my foot and I was to compartmentalize my foot into 3 pieces, right? This point that I just showed you is going to be located about 1/3 of the way down from the top of your foot. About 1/3 down, and then inward in between the second and third toe. That's the Yang Quan, also known as the bubbling well. Dealing with the water element, the bubbling well. They say once we open this point, it becomes the bubbling spring, meaning that the energy begins to go up. It begins to come up. Make sure you see that very clearly, family. So why is this point so important? Well, many reasons why it's so important. A lot of times people get blockage in different aspects of their body. Let's say, for example, that you're feeling stressed, anxiety, paranoia, not able to sleep. All of those types of symptoms are dealing with fire. Fire. So we have fire. So how do we deal with toning down the fire? I just mentioned the bubbling well is the water element. Activate that water element. I'm going to share a couple exercises with you. So now that you've been able to identify that point, I'm going to show you how to work with that point by doing some acupressure, self-acupressure. And it's very simple. If you have not been able to find the point, please let me know. Type it in on the chat there, because we're going to get into the exercise. I want to make sure that you're able to do the exercise. Anybody having any trouble sleeping? Anxiety, feeling frustrated, angry? You're in the right place, fam. You're in the right place. This bubbling well is going to help you out tremendously. Tremendously. I'm going to show you just how to activate that point. Let me look real quick. Seafood. It is too blurry. I couldn't get in. I'm sorry, trying to adjust sound. So you're saying that that picture was too blurry. So forget about the picture. Forget about the picture. Just listen to my instruction in regards to the way that you can find the location of that point. Maybe there's a glare coming from the sunshine. But it's simple to find, family. And you'll know when you have it, because when you touch the point, you'll feel some sensitivity. So if you would, take off your shoe, find your big toe, use your left hand. I have my right foot, my right big toe, in the very corner of my nail bed of my toe, the nail bed of your toe. I want you to take your thumb and press into that point. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Right into there. Push in there.
The bottom corner of the toe.
The bottom corner of that nail bed. Put your thumb into that, and it's not going to feel comfortable at all. With your other hand, you're going to use the palm of your hand, and while you're pressing on that nail bed corner, you're going to use your palm hand, you're going to rub on the instep of your other foot. You're going to go up and down, 1, up and down, 2, up and down, 3, until you get to 36. Go ahead and start. 36 rubs, up and down.
Sorry, you said other foot. You meant the right foot, right?
The right foot.
Okay.
Right, so we're going to do both feet. Each foot gets 36 palpations. Use your palm heel.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can give it more pressure and really push down on that.
Ooh, okay.
Right, all the way up, all the way down. 36 times. Breathing normally. Normally for us means belly breathing, right, family? Not chest breathing. That's normal for people who don't know about these practices. 36 rubs up and down, and give yourself a little pressure on the rub. You want to push in on that instep. 36 times. And then change to the other side. I'll come a little closer for people who... So when I say instep, fam, I'm talking about right inside here, that instep. You're going to be rubbing in there, rubbing in that groove, up and down 36 times. 36 times, right inside there. Make sure you have that thumbnail pushing into So let's say that this hand right here, this is my foot. This is the foot that I'm working on. This is the free hand. Right inside that big toe, put that nail inside of there. Push in there.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
Ow.
It actually hurts a little bit.
Ow.
Yes. It's actually a little painful. Especially if you have more stress, it may be a little more painful. 36, man.
I'm going to have to take off my wrist jewelry here.
Go ahead. 36 times.
Woo.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you want to use, if you have any type of liniments that you use, like topicals that you use, you can use those as well right now. Any type of foot creams. Make sure they're organic and natural. Right. So we're activating our K1 point right now. K1, while you're doing that, I'll talk to you a little bit about it. So the K1 point activation can help with ringing in the ears, if your ears ring. If you have blurry vision, it can help clear your vision. Skin situations, anything dealing with skin. What about knee pain? Anybody having any knee pain?
I do.
How's that memory working for you? Got a little memory loss? These are all signs, family, that you have something going on possibly with the kidney. What about that spine, that back? Any back pain?
Whew.
Yeah. So whenever you feel the slightest headache starting to come about, go ahead and kick your shoes off and go ahead and start rubbing on your foot. Whenever you feel, somebody said they had a little headache earlier, I would recommend that you go ahead and implement this exercise, family. Implement this exercise.
Got a little chi high from that.
You will get a little chi high from that. You will get a little chi high from that. Also, this point is very grounding. Think about water. Water. What does water do? What are the physical characteristics dealing with water in regards to movement in the water state? Yeah, water is known for going down. It settles into the earth, right? Right? The springs are under the ground. They spring up onto the surface of the ground. Right. Yeah, take notes. Always, always, always take notes, man. So as I said, I wanted to focus more on not on the shin, but more on the physical body. The physical aspect of our body. Let me see if anybody got any questions with that. So while we're here, I remember you taught this in the fall, and I've done it. Oh, I've taught this. All right. I have some confusion about the breathing. Do we leave the chi in the cauldron? Stephanie, good question. Good question. So while we're doing this particular exercise, the video was not so clear. Stephanie said the video was not so clear. Maybe it was when I had that board in my hand.
Oh, we also got the camera a bit further back than we did yesterday. Maybe we should move it up a little bit closer.
Maybe so, yeah. Let's go ahead and rectify that situation. Audrey's talking about the Ming Men. So the Ming Men are the three vertebrae in the lower back, the Ming Men. Also known as the door to life, the Ming Men. So how was that exercise, rubbing on the bottom of the foot? Were you able to find those points? Someone said they had a headache. They're going to be so happy for this. I don't take any aspirin. I don't take any Tylenol. I don't take none of that stuff. This is my medicine right here. The same exercise for headaches. And it works phenomenally. If you can't sleep, give this a go. It'll help you ground yourself. My main issue is focusing during the workday. Can we see again? So hard to see. Wow, why is it hard to see? This ain't as hard to see. Hold on a second, fam. Let's see if we get the glare. That's why I wish we could talk to each other. It looks nice and clear here. Why does it look so beautiful for us? Oh, I got the wrong board. Man, I think it's this white board just doesn't show well. That's what I think it is. It's just a white board that doesn't show well.
Yeah, we'll just have to dial in.
I think it's a white board that doesn't show well.
We'll
Nothing I can do about it.
Dial in how close that you can get with it.
It's just a white board that doesn't show well.
Maybe try 2 feet away. We'll just have to dial in.
I think it's a white board.
We'll have to
Nothing I can do about it.
dial in how close that you can get with it.
It's just a white board that doesn't show well. Right, so forget about all this up here for now, family. Just a foot.
Oops.
Just a foot. Looking at this one little point here. So as I said earlier, this point is located between the second and third toe. The big toe being the first toe. So 1 is the big toe, 2 is the next toe, and then the third toe is the middle toe. So in between the second and third toe is the Yang Quan point.
Much better.
Much better?
Much better.
Okay, good. Sorry about that, fam. We're going to work out the technical stuff. But remember, in order to find that point, you want to come down about a third of the way of your foot's length. A third of the way down, and then inward in between the second and third toe. Take your thumb and push into that point, and it'll tell you if you found the right place or not, because you'll feel a sensation that will certainly let you know. It'll answer that question for you. You won't be wondering. If you don't feel anything, you haven't found it yet. If you don't feel it, you haven't found it yet. Okay? So out of all this stuff on this board, I only really wanted you to look at this. That's it. All right? So that made it better. So 36 rubs. Here's a second exercise for the kidneys. We're going to stand up for this one.
Okay.
Stand up for this one, family. Here's a second kidney exercise. And you most certainly, if you've been with me for a while, you've seen this one before. So where are the kidneys located? First of all, where are they? Some people may not know. Let's not take it for granted, right? And family, whenever you share this stuff with people, share as if they don't know anything at all. You're not going to insult anybody, right? As if you're teaching a brand new baby. That's how I like to teach it to people, right? As if you have no clue. So don't feel as if I'm talking down to you like you're dumb or something. That's not it. The intention is to make sure that nobody gets left behind. So, right below your floating rib is the bottom rib. Find that space, that soft space, right below there. Also, the back of your hands, we're going to be using the back of our wrists. We're going to place those into the soft space, right below those floating ribs. The exercise goes like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll let you guess how many. Yep. 36. 36 rubs. 36 rubs. Charging up the kidneys. Charging up the K1 points. K1 on the bottom of the foot. Keep going, fam. Keep going. When you get to 36, we'll transition into the next movement. Breathe normal. In the nose, out of the nose. You can place the tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth as well. Remember that we want our breathing pattern to be long, slow, deep, and silent. The breath, long, slow, deep, and silent. 36 times, family, charging up those kidneys. I'll be honest with you, family. Our kidneys, we're talking about the chi, right? We're talking about chi. We have pre-birth chi, the chi that we get before we even come into existence. Pre-birth. Then we have chi that we get after birth, after being born.
Just kidding.
What's that?
I was going to ask a question about this, but I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, that's fine. No.
Yeah, love it.
Somebody else may have the same question.
We got to throw a lot of pressure as we're traveling down the lower part of the spine there. Is that right?
But yeah, you can add some pressure. Don't be afraid to add some pressure to the lower lumbar as you're doing that last exercise, is what Peyton was asking. Yeah, so you can make it as you can add as much pressure as is comfortable to you. You get what I'm saying? You want to really push in so that your kidneys, remember your kidneys are inside, right? So you want to add some pressure so that you're actually giving your kidneys a real massage so that they're actually feeling that. And you're not just rubbing on the skin lightly. Thank you, my brother. You want to go inside. You want to be deep. Absolutely. Thank you. Because somebody probably was surfing, skimming over the surface. Let's back up to the chi so that you can understand a little more about the different types of chi, although I say chi is really chi. But this is what's so important, because our chi is like the energy inside of a battery. Once that battery is depleted, we're out of here. You're done. That's why we're here, so we can learn how to preserve our chi. More specifically, how to preserve the original chi that comes from our ancestry, from our lineage. And life is not fair, family. Some of us picked up some things that doesn't really serve us very well. We had no choice for that. We just have to pick up and do the best we can with what we have. That's just life in general. But regardless as to what we were born with, we can always make do and make better with what we have here. These resources, right? These exercises. They're going to help us to build up and to retain, and also to have an abundant amount of chi. So remember, the pre-birth chi is located in the kidneys. If you have a notebook, write that down. It's not testable. But very, very, very important to know that the pre-birth chi, or you can say primordial chi, pre-birth chi, same thing, different terminology. Inside of the kidneys, also inside of our blood, inside of our spittle, our saliva. Over time, if we abuse our bodies, you know, when we're young, it's all vanity. It's all nice and beautiful and everything is perfect, right? Or as close to perfect as possible. But as we begin to age, and if we aren't aging well, like we're training to age well, these bodies will deteriorate and they won't hold on to that essence. They will leak. They will leak. A major leakage is too much sexual conduct, too much sexual activity, specifically for men. Being exposed to anything that doesn't serve us well, being in the wrong environment, eating the wrong foods, listening to things that we shouldn't listen to. You know, music has certain frequencies, right? Certain vibrations. Everything is vibration. Everything is vibration. So we have to keep those things in mind. Everything that we look at, we lose chi leakage through our eyeballs, through the eyes, right? Don't be looking at all types of things. Horror movies doesn't serve us well. Doesn't serve us well at all, right? So the pre-birth chi is stored in the kidneys. You get chi from your food. Eat foods that are highly vibrational. That's why I like to have my foods sun-kissed. Because that food, anything that goes into our body is going to alter our DNA. Everything that goes inside of us. We're just like a computer program, family. Everything that goes into our body makes some type of biological change. Everything. Keep that in mind. Everything that you listen to. Everything that you watch. Set the tone of your day by watching things that are highly vibrational. Not the internet, if you can help it. No electronics. Let's move into the next exercise. Next exercise. Remember, we're starting below. We're starting down on the bottom. Back at the bubbling well point. This is an exercise you've seen me do quite frequently. Is there any way you can angle that camera down a little bit?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, angle that down a little bit. I want you to pay attention to my feet, fam. Okay, good.
Yep, you're good.
So this is what I want you to pay attention to. Also my hands. We're stimulating the bubbling wells, the K1 points on the bottom of the feet. You can do this anytime, family, any place. As you inhale, I want you to take a breath in. I want you to come up on the tippy toes or the balls of your feet, the best of your ability. Simultaneously, I want you to flex your wrists, bend your wrists like this. Inhale. Also, your anal sphincter, the Hu Yin point. That point down at the very bottom, the Hu Yin point, the perineum, you want to constrict that point. So you got three things taking place at the same time. You're flexing your wrists, coming up on the balls of your feet, and you're tightening your anal sphincter all at the same time. That's an inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale, let the body drop down. After it drops down, make a fist and pull your toes up, and you rock up on your heels. Do it again. We'll do it a few times, not 36 times. Flex, inhale, contract anal sphincter, hold your breath for whatever's comfortable for you, family. 1 or 2 beats. And then exhale, let the body drop naturally. You should feel your organs shaking as you drop down naturally. And then pick your toes up, leave your heel down, and make a fist. You may lose your balance a little bit. You may rock back a little bit. Find a focal point somewhere, something you can focus on to keep you from losing your balance or to help you maintain your balance. Inhale. 18 times. Go for it. 18 times. 1-8. This is all bubbling well, family. K1 point. Keep going. And don't rush. Take your time and do your breathing, family. We got 14 people in the class right now.
That might have been a while ago.
Just a Dan message saying that he can't get in. He was in yesterday. I don't know why. I just got a message saying Dan can't get in.
Let me throw him the link.
Go ahead. Thank you, Avi. Yeah, I don't know why Dan couldn't get in. Peyton's working on it right now. He's going to send the link to Dan. In the meanwhile, keep doing the 18 times. Here's a little tidbit I threw out for you. So our K1 point, dealing with the kidney, that is dealing with our willpower. How much will do you have? Every organ in the body is going to be associated with a different type of emotion or feeling in the body. Remember, the willpower, the will. How much will do you have? That's the K1 point. He missed about half of the class already. Sorry for anybody that couldn't get in, man.
We'll get him on the replay.
Yeah.
Because the link that I just sent him isn't working for access to the to it either. So that's strange because I took that link directly from the chat that I.
All right, that's okay. We'll fix it. I'm assuming that everyone has done their 18 times. We're going to go into a little sitting and a review from yesterday. A little sitting and review from yesterday. So make sure you remember those exercises. We just shared 1, 2, 3 exercises dealing with the kidney point. Implement those inside of your own routine. Family, remember this. I mentioned on yesterday, we'll be doing this session Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days. Now, remember, this is a 100-day training, right? That means we should be doing training every day. With that being said, you're going to have to do 3 days of training, solo training, by yourself. So don't neglect doing your solo training. If you happen to miss a day, that's okay. You don't want to make a habit of missing days. And honestly, if it's not really something real serious, do your best to make it through the 100 days without missing. It only takes you about 20 minutes or so to do your personal practice. We want to get in the habit of doing our sitting meditation every day, 20 minutes. Right? That doesn't take long. 30 minutes, you got a whole routine done. You can do the kidney exercises that we did today, or you can do the exercises on yesterday. Right? So you're going to make up your own routine eventually. But regardless of your routine, you always want to have this sitting practice as part of your foundation. This is the crux of it all, the sitting. Okay? Everything else is like an addition to. So go ahead and take your position. Some people are sitting on the floor. Some people are standing. Some people are sitting on a chair. Whatever method you choose is fine, okay? Remember, I said I like to cover my legs just to help keep the heat inside of the body. And the reason that we cross our legs is to basically, we cut off all of the yin energy. We cut off the ground path. And it's just the yang energy coming in from above. That's it. And we're recycling that yang energy over and over and over and over again inside of our container if we don't have any leakages. We're working on the leakages. So on yesterday, fam, I shared with you my very proud artwork right here. We talked about some key points. And we're going to review that today just to make sure everybody has it real solid. let's do that. So first, when you sit, you're going to just make sure that you got the breath right, that you're breathing in the nose, out of the nose. But make sure that the breath is being initiated from lower dantian. That's the key. That's very, very important. Breathing from the belly. Someone may have a health issue and they just simply can't do it. That's understandable. If you're not able to breathe from the belly, come up a little higher. Not able to breathe from here, come up a little higher. Do your best to eventually start going down lower. Train yourself to start going down lower. Also, you may be a person that has some type of nasal septum, the division in between your nose. It may be deviated. Maybe you have a broken nose and you aren't able to breathe through your nose so efficiently, right? You know your own condition. So we all have to work with what we have. Remember, I said life is not so fair, right? So do the best that you can do, keeping in mind the right way and work towards getting there. That's all we can ask, right? That's why we're here. So as you're calming down the breath, calming down the body, calming down your emotions, everything is being calmed down. I want you to remember when we close our eyes, at some point we're going to close our eyes in the training, remember? And we're going to softly gaze inside of our body. We looked at 3 points with closed eyes. We're looking at 3 points. I'm just giving you a preview right now of what we're going to do in a few minutes. Things to remember. 3 points. Tip of the nose. Tip of the chin. Heart chakra. Doesn't stop there. We want to dive deeper. We want to go down into that cauldron, the dantian. Check this out, fam. In the beginning, you may only be able to go to the top of the cauldron, the very top. But later, you will learn to sink that chi, to sink your mind even deeper into that cauldron. Very deep. So deep that you get to the point where you have no interrupted thoughts. No thoughts coming up. Nothing. No thoughts. For 100 count. Remember the counting, right? Remember the counting. I'm assuming everyone was here yesterday and they got an introduction on the way that we do counting the breath. If not, make sure you catch the review. I'm not going to go through that again. Remember the bivalve, right? That point at the top of the head, how we seal it shut. Also remember that all of the pores on our body are also entry points or exit points, right? Sweat can go out, but we're also able to absorb things into our skin because we have pores. These are vortexes. We want to close our skin. The only way to close our skin is to use our intention. So all of these things are things that we're doing as we're preparing to go into our meditation. We want to close those things off so that the energy stays inside of the container and we can exercise the energy without it escaping. Did I leave anything out? Nope. I didn't leave anything out. Let's do it together. So first, we sit here, close our eyes, place the tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth. We take a few breaths. If you want to use your mudra with the hands, whatever you want, feel comfortable, family. There's nothing, no force in this practice at all. Force to take us the wrong way. No stress. Just doing our best. You close your eyes. And remember, not counting the breath yet. We're getting ready to start counting the breath. There's a few things that we do to prepare us to get to that point. We want to open our mind's eye. That's a big one. We want to open that mind's eye where it goes out into the vastness of the entire universe. The mind's eye, the third eye, some people call it. The Hindu practices. The Chinese arts, we call it the mind's eye. Right? Open the mind's eye and then close the mind's eye. No force. Everything is soft. Close the mind's eye, bringing in the energy. Maybe 2 or 3 times, just enough to go out and then come back in. Do that a few times with your eyes closed. Use your mind's eye to go out into the universe and then come back into your internal universe. So we combine the outside and the inside together. Now that you've got your body prepared to do that, let's begin to count the breath. With an inhale, we breathe in, no force, no, don't strain your voice. Breathe in comfortably. And then exhale, releasing, letting go. Remember how we acknowledge any thoughts that come to our mind, right? Don't push it away. Don't fight the thoughts. Actually, welcome the thoughts. Welcome them. Ask yourself, where did that thought come from? And then leave it alone. The answer will come later. The answer will show up later. Not right now. You got work to do. You're busy. Just be respectful to the thought. And where'd you come from? And then go right back to your work. Right back to your breath. Inhale, and then exhale. On that exhale, family, follow that exhale all the way down. As if you're collecting and gathering the chi, and you're placing it into the bucket, into the dantian, into the cauldron. If you don't follow it with intention, you just drop the energy, family. Don't drop the energy. Keep your intention attached to the energy and follow it into the cauldron. Remember what I said today about the cauldron. The cauldron is like a bucket, right? It has a surface level, but it also gets deeper in the bottom. Drop that chi into the bottom. Start working on submerging that chi into the bottom of the bucket, not on the top of the bucket. And you can't force it. If you're sitting there forcing it, trying to push it down, it's not going to work. It's going to fight back. This is an allowing practice. So everything is gentle. It's almost as if you're kind of like just giving a suggestion, like, hey, you should be over here. And you can add a nice smile if you wish. Breathing in peace. Breathing in peace, always. Peace and healing. Exhaling anything that doesn't serve you. Any thoughts that's been lingering, exhale. It goes away with the exhale. Don't gather that. Don't collect that and put it in your cauldron. Don't condense that and put it in your cauldron by any means. Continue on, fam. Let's see if you are at the point where you're able to do 10 breaths without getting lost in the thought. 10 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Let it go. Keep going, fam.
Sifu, if I need to yawn,
Go for it.
go for it. Don't fight it at all.
Mhm.
All right.
No, that happens, yeah. So usually, I didn't want to talk during the sitting, but since you asked about the yawning, that's dealing with the oxygen coming into your body. So just go ahead and yawn if you need to yawn. Don't fight it for sure. Allow it to be. Never fight anything. Yeah. Just don't go to sleep. Now, fam, we talk a lot about intellectual things, and those conversations, they stimulate a certain part of our brain, dealing with cognition, right? The cognitive part of our brain. But to truly be into the meditative state, we have to get past and beyond that part. That part of the brain will keep us running behind thoughts. That's the monkey mind. We want to get into the inner brain. The inner brain, remember I talked about the monkey mind, and I also talked about the horse. The horse has on blinders, right? No distractions. The horse is just plowing the field. That's it. He'll plow all day. Just keep walking straight. You know a horse will actually walk himself to death. They'll keep going. Now you take a mule on the other hand, or a donkey, they'll stop. They don't care how much you beat them. They'll stop. That horse will keep going. We want to have that mind. That resolute mind. No stopping. No stopping. I'm busy doing my work.
Sifu,
Mm-hmm.
what if I'm trying to fight myself into proper posture?
That's definitely probably going to happen, especially with new people. If you aren't used to sitting in proper posture, your body's going to fight you. It's going to want to go back to slouching and sitting incorrectly. But don't fight it. Just guide it into the correct place. Every time it wants to go somewhere else, don't fight it. Just guide it back into proper proportion. That makes sense, fam? Because you're going to start feeling cramps and pain. Ignore it. I'll tell you what Ron Sifu says to me. Because we're sitting in double lotus, right? And 2 hours into it, right? And my legs feel like they're getting ready to drop off. And he's like, what's the worst thing that can happen to you? Your legs drop off? And he starts laughing, you know. So basically he's saying, you're not doing yourself any harm. It's only a short sitting. You know, some people sit a lot longer than 2 hours. Now, I don't advise long sittings in the double lotus position, personally, from my medical background. Not long. We can talk, that's another video. But I'm assuming that everybody's already trained the process, how to do this sitting. Eventually, you want to work up, remember, 100 breaths, uninterrupted, no thoughts, where your mind has been settled down into the lower dantian, not the top portion, but deep down into the dantian. Let's talk about this, family. We're gonna wrap it up. So, when we're first born, right? When we come into this world, fam. A lot of people don't want to face the reality, but we're already programmed. We're just like that Dell computer that we buy. It already has software on it. We're the same way, fam. We already got stuff on our DNA. Where'd you get that eye color from? That beautiful hair. What about that beautiful bony structure in the jawline? Or that beautiful nose, those eyes, those big, beautiful eyes? Look like grandma? Maybe another generation back? Yeah. So our DNA goes back. It goes way, 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 way back. A lot further than most of us care to even think about, fam. I'm not talking about great grandma. I'm talking about way back. I'm talking about when existence came into existence. We got that in our body. We have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen in our bodies. That can be found out of space. Those same elements. We're aliens. No, I'm playing. But seriously, family, our DNA has a lot of stuff inside. I always say that our issues, we all have issues, some type of something. It's inside of our tissues. It's inside of our tissues. Specifically, inside of our organ system. We're going to talk about the elements and how the organs in our body are related to certain elements. Not today, but we will get there. What I wanted to mention about that is stress, environmental stress, even stress that we absorb inside of the womb. You know, if our mom is in an environment that's not so conducive to peace, that child is picking up on all of that energy inside of that belly. Yeah, all of it. Because it's all energy, family. It's all energy. Cortisol, adrenaline, all of those things play a very important aspect or role in the way that our organs communicate with each other. So when we get stressed, the kidneys, they're going to send out some fire or water or whatever, the metal element. You're going to get wood chopping into metal and metal chopping into earth, and everything just gets chaotic inside of here. All these organs are starting to have communication that's not conducive to health. And that's just as simple as being stressed. Now remember, I said a lot of the issues that we deal with, we were already born with those issues. So we're here today to take that stuff and get rid of it. We're removing those issues. But first and foremost, we have to acknowledge those issues. How do we acknowledge those issues? We have to be in quietness, in peace, in stillness. We have to be here, in the present. That's why we say the moment that we're in is the present. We want to be in the present so that everything else can present itself. That anger can show its face. Where are you coming from? If we don't take time out and we ask that question, where'd that thought come from? If we don't take time to do that, it'll always be there, and it may become even worse than it already is. So that stress may turn into heart attack, right? Stroke may begin to elevate. See, you got all of these things going on inside of the body, all these organs communicating with each other. This is Chinese medicine, family. This is not Western medicine. That's how they look at it. They look at each organ working together in harmony or disharmony. Disharmony, disease. We're going to clock out. You know about the organ system, how it's related to our body, how it's set up. I'll give you a quick preview of how the organs are associated inside of the traditional Chinese medicine mentality. So we have fire, right? We have fire. Each of these fingers are related to an element. Fire at the top. I should have drew this down. I'll do it later. Fire at the top. On the right side, and if you think about this stuff logically, it kind of makes sense. Fire at the top. On the right side, we have earth on the top. Below earth is metal, right? When we dig in the ground, what's under the earth? What's under the earth? Metals. Ore. Right, ores. All types of gold, right? Different elements are in the earth. So fire, earth, metal. What's on this side? Anybody knows? Where? Yeah, I was going to say, where would water be located? So, Brother Peyton says wood is here. Wood. So how did that wood start to grow up? Needed some water. And water settles down. So water is below wood. Fire at the top. Earth. And metal. I'll draw a picture later. Maybe Peyton will draw a picture for you. So you know a little bit about these 5 elements and how they're associated in our body, how they work together, and how they can actually work against each other. Any questions, fam? Anything we didn't cover today? It always seems like we don't have enough time together for some reason. I don't know why, but it always seems that way. I hope you're starting to figure out how to get into the chat more easily, and it's a learning curve for all of us. We're learning as well, and from the way it looks, we're getting the kinks removed. If you had any difficulties, be sure to reach out to us and let us know what your difficulty was. Also, what can we do to help things be better? Because we want to have the best platform possible for our people to learn. And I'm always open to learn as well, to learn from you all. Anything you need to add?
I guess I should apologize for our learning curve of sending out the privatized links to y'all's email. So I hope you can forgive me.
I forgive you for that, my brother.
While I get this dialed in for everybody here.
We're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. Well, we're going to clock out, fam. Got my cell phone number. Anytime, fam, honestly. I've talked to several of you already. Also, start thinking about a good time for your one-on-one, your first one-on-one. We're going to start one-on-ones Saturday. Those will be scheduled for Saturday and Sunday. 2 o'clock won't work, between 2 and 3, because I'll be doing Facebook Live, and I hope that you're there as well with me. So start thinking of what time's going to work for you, and let's start getting those filled up. Today is what, Tuesday?
Yes.
Yeah, we need to start working on that. So,
second day of the strong.
Second day of the strong, family. We don't do the weak thing anymore. We only do the strong.
Every day is a weekend.
Every day is a weekend. Let's bow out. Let's stand up and bow out. Let's do the proper bow out, fam.
Now start bowing in.
Oh, well, we did. We went to the heart space earlier. That'll do just as good.
Good.
Yeah, we opened up with the heart space opening. That's what I wanted to set the intention. So, thank you all for being here. We'll do the traditional bow. The traditional bow for our lineage is the sun and the moon. We talked a little bit about that as well. So we're going to have the circular. Imagine you're holding an egg. You don't want to burst the egg, so it's very soft and hollow. This is to protect, to cover. That's what we'll end up at. So we start here, fam. With an exhale, removing anything that doesn't serve us well, with intention. And then an inhale, bringing the energy up into Dantian, offering of self to the universe. Breathing in, gathering earth chi, combining with sky chi. Here's where we make the fists and the shield and cover. Right there, right? That's it. That's it. Inhale, come up. Bring your hands towards your chest, towards your heart. In. Twist. Open your fists. Separate the elbows. Now imagine that you're washing your body with the chi that you just gathered. And make it sincere, family. This is a feel practice. All of it is. It's all about feeling. Eventually, those thoughts are going to have to go away. It becomes all feeling. Eventually. All right. Inhale up. Bring your right foot towards your left foot. Coming into prayer palms. Right in front of the heart space. Up to Dantian, third eye. Eyes mine, mind's eye. Thank you very much. Inhale on the way up. Thank you, fam. I'll see you all tomorrow, same time. Looking forward to any messages you all may have for us. You good to go? Anything you need to say, my brother?
no seafood. Thank you.
Thank you, fam. Day 2. Finito.
Give it another good one. Give it another
This
good
is a
one.
good thing we do.
Peace, peace, family. Peace.
Three-time charm.
Peace.